Hello, gamers. Welcome back. It's the same weekly. We gained like 14 ranking points in 2 games today on stream. I don't want to brag, okay? We came in second and third. I know that's a new personal best, but I'll take it. This might be, I don't know. I gotta figure out how the rest of my afternoon is gonna go. I do not like this squad early, I'll tell you that much. I'll be like a hot fella. Hot gun! Remember that from Jeopardy? All I remember, the only specific Jeopardy clue I really remember is I was watching one of the episodes that was on Netflix. They showed a picture of Kid Rock. You probably know what he looks like. And then, Alex Trebek says, this artist is famous for songs Ba with the Ba and Cowboy. And then someone immediately rang in and they went, who is Kid Cudi? And then Alex went, nope. And then everybody else just timed out. They said, this one's too hard. I know it's the oldest joke in the book about Jeopardy, but it is very funny, in my opinion. About something like this, I don't know. It's a weird start, but I really think it would be very nice to have 5 lives. So it would be nice to win or draw this next round. But the setup for this weekly, in my opinion, really depends on your turn 3. If you level up on turn 3 and get a leech camel or a clownfish or a jellyfish, you have a shot. If you don't, pray that changes soon, in my opinion, because there's a lot of early game momentum. There's some importance to the early game momentum. What does it say about me that when my stats get swapped around, all of a sudden I perform better? I don't know. I don't know what it says, okay? Why don't you tell me what it says? Sell me? I think the pug is like a sometimes laddie this week, so I'm going to toss him out there. This is unfortunate. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not ideal, for sure. We got levels up next turn. We could slow play it just a little. I mean, we can't control the shops that we get, right? You know how it is. So far, I'm not sweating it. And then there's, in my opinion, there's like 3 viable late games here. Super stacked. Well, there's a few, actually. There's scaling, oftentimes enabled or at least emboldened by like clownfish, jellyfish, or leech camel. There is trumpets, late game Niala, leveled up, 1-up on top of it, nurse shark behind it, pteranodon, etc., etc. And then there's like, I don't know how else to explain it except to call it equipment shenanigans. You being very smart, I should have bought this for, I don't know. This is confusing to me. Sell me? You being very smart may be able to create a situation where you can use a a mongoose in order to create a beautiful thing. I'm going to start here. I know this is a bit bold. I love to see this. Okay, so we got levels galore coming up. Blobfish giving you early EXP and stats on something is also really good. We would prefer not to apply these stats, if possible, to a loyal chinchilla, but we're doing what we can do, okay? For now, I'm not sweating it too much. Looking at other squads, Camel scares me. Camel always scares me. We just pray that you can get your run online before they get Camel Leech. But this weekly has been tough. People have been playing really well. I think this weekly, for whatever reason, doesn't feel like as intuitive to me as last weekly's felt. Maybe because last weekly I just had one squad that I always wanted to get to, and most of the time I did. We lose these. Okay. I was so ready to say we win these. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty stoked for the weekly to roll over. Did you hear that? I thought I heard my wife shout my name. Oh, maybe she did. 1 second. Okay, listen, a lot has changed. We had a handyman come over and fix some patches in the drywall. That's why there's no blue tape over here anymore. I changed my shirt because while he was here, I didn't want to record. I got self-conscious. So I put on a black shirt and I tried to tweak the Photoshop quick actions option in order to easily cut my head out from the background so I don't have to spend 5 minutes manually using the eraser tool to do it in Photoshop for every thumbnail. And we won, okay? How did we win? Basically, we got a level 3 clownfish, which is pretty good. And then also, I know this is the pièce de résistance here. I kept putting 1-ups on my level 2 blobfish. So whenever I pilled it, it would basically take something from level 1 to level 2 right away, and then it would respawn as a level 2, and then I would give it another 1-up, and ipso facto, Bob's your uncle. Now, I think that that's dangerous for us. Ooh, 5%, that's not that good. Well, it's still pretty good. I guess I shouldn't be mad at myself. But either way, what was I talking about? I think it's actually dangerous that it worked the first time I really tried it, because it means that if I try it again, if I get the chance to try it again, it's fair to suggest that I might be more likely to try to force the archetype even in situations where it may or may not work appropriately, okay? Let me be a wrinkled dust bunny. Now, this team is horrendous. This team is horrible, but it has level up, not potential, it has a level up guarantee. The question is, how much do we want to level up on turn 2? The turn 2 units are very valuable on, the tier 2 units are very valuable on turn 2, but they're not even close to as valuable in a meta level as the tier 3 units with respect to your entire run. So, you know, in some ways I feel like they forced my hand, okay? Give me this. I don't even think that the squad setup we have here, I basically did this because I thought it would be best to give ourselves the best chance possible of winning round 2. But with this team, we could still easily lose round 2. I mean, this is just, I don't want to say like it's not the position you want to be in because I'm the guy who bought the pets. But if they wouldn't be the ideal level 2 unit for you to have right now. But you know what? It's interesting. Plus, we won the last one, so we can afford to throw a little bit, even though you didn't get to see it. I took my turns while occasionally running upstairs to make sure the handyman didn't leave the door ajar so that our cats could escape from the house. Our cats, meanwhile, hiding under our own blanket on our bed. What do you say frick me for? I'll be the first to tell you this is inefficient. But there's just something in my guts that tells me this is the way forward for now. Obviously, with 9 mice, is it 9 mice? 1, 2, 3. So with 6 mice having been purchased to get to a level 3 mouse, you would probably rather have 6 apples. But I mean, level ups at appropriate times are resources as well. That's, you know, obviously I wish we had like a clownfish to pay out or a jellyfish or something to pay out, but can I tell you this is embarrassing? I can't believe I'm just now remembering for the 8th time that clownfish and jellyfish are in 2 different tiers. That's why the combination was part of the reason why the combination is so powerful. You can get an organic jellyfish and then an artificially sweetened clownfish on turn 3. If you get both of those, you're off to the races. Anyway, right now, this is not amazing, but it's maybe not like, I mean, it's round 3. It's hard to make a team that is completely sunk this early. This is not a great spot, as you can see, but I think their team's pretty good too. Camel's like one of the best units you could have right now, for sure. So, I think we owe it to ourselves to at least try to get the jellyfish off the ground. We need to see a little bit more. I think we need to get a payout, though. So for the time being, I'm rolling. The reason, okay, a level is a nice get. A spider, maybe. I was what would have made this the be-all, end-all for me is if we managed to get a second jellyfish. Obviously, to get one to level 2 would be even better. But here's the way... Ranked has changed my thought process. So sometimes it's changed it for the better. Sometimes it's changed it in a way that probably leads to worse results, okay? Instead of just thinking, I don't want to lose this round, I'm thinking, how do we compete with the Andes at the end of the game? And if that's where your head is at, you know, you're not buying IPOs anymore. You're investing in a broadly diversified basket of goods defined as the S&P 500, okay? With the most minimal carrying costs you could possibly imagine. Similarly, we don't need to buy a peach. We don't expect a peach to help us out on turn 12. It might help us get to turn 12, but on turn 12, what do we need? We need our jellyfish to have leveled up faster 20 minutes ago so that we can have a better chance for it to actually do something for us now, later in the game. That's our present win condition. He's finally learning how to play strategy games. This is also pretty bad. At least that's a little scaling. You almost have to. I'm really, like, I'm not, like, holding out hope for the blobfish to redo our old strategy. Like, I'm, to be honest with you, I was always freezing blobfish to begin with. I'm an old hat blobfish, or a pill freezer in the hopes of getting a blobfish, because look at the other foods this week. You don't really need it for 3. You don't really, some situations you might like it. Borderline useless. We've bought it on occasion. Very useful, admittedly. But until you get to around like here, the foods are not that valuable. So I feel like freezing a pill early this week is kind of like intermediate tech. I didn't say advanced. I'm only a top 5% gamer this week. No longer top 1%, okay? And it pains me as much as it pains you to hear that. This is just, I mean, we're playing hopeful ball here. Okay, we have to, this is a huge risk, but... Oh, it's just one big apple, okay. We have to do this. A second dragonfly, kinda interesting with it. I'm here to tell you, I genuinely think the jellyfish is just past its best before date. So this is a really bold play. We essentially have one good unit, and we definitely can't keep this going forever because Death Touch exists this week, Skunks exist this week. Even like a mediocre unit with Melon Armor will blow this out. This is going to be an 18-15 Garlic Moth on turn 6. And we have a good clownfish kind of setup here. If we get another clownfish, the clownfish will be big. If we get another dragonfly, the dragonfly will be big. Like we got flexibility on the squad. At the same time, things are getting somewhat urgent. Basically, I'm saying that if we don't get better, we need other teams to die. Sucks to say, but the truth is out there. I'm going to throw a sniper on the team. The sniper is a bet hedger for us. Turtle doesn't really offer enough in a world where garlic exists already. This is horrible! Okay, all right. Now it's not so horrible. This would be, you know that I'm rolling too much because I'm the first person to lock in. Yes, one of the criticisms, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom, okay? A criticism that very much annoys me is little bros just rolling. Sometimes, don't do post hoc rationalization, okay? This isn't the all-in podcast, all right? We are trying to make the best path possible when there's fog of war, okay? If we knew we were going to roll 7 times and buy one thing, we would buy 2 foods, the one thing we wanted, and roll once instead, okay? But we don't know that. So if they give me a shop full of garbage and then some recycling, I'm rolling to try to get to compost, okay? That's part of the beauty of these games, is that there's a built-in like gambling aspect. I think rolling on the appropriate time, a little bro wins one game and now all of a sudden he's like, here's my philosophy for victory. But I think there are rounds this week where rolling is not as bad as it is other week because the alternative to rolling is either buying garbage or buying food, and a lot of foods this week just don't really move the needle. This is not unexpected, and I applaud you for having the cojones to run a starfish team, okay? I do. I applaud you for the cojones at all. Buy me? I think we gotta get the hope of more scaling. I'm gonna keep the links. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're gonna run 2, because we needed the space to be able to put a blobfish with a pill out here. Sure, next round there's chocolate available, but unless chocolate shows up immediately, a pill blobfish is better value because we'll spend 1 gold rolling to get to the chocolate to begin with. Now, it would be awesome if this blobfish being pilled made a big difference. There's basically 4 gold for 1 experience. Right? It's basically 4 gold for an experience plus 2/2. That's like an augmented pair. And I'm not talking about cybernetic cojones. Now, what do I think my odds are of winning? It's complicated. My odds of winning are probably, close to middle of the pack. Nobody's got a super big scaling engine set up yet, except for the jellyfish, but if you'll allow me to sound like an insane person, in some situations, the jellyfish can kind of fall off late game. I mean, the highest it can get is 50-50. I see. I see what's happening here. What it's like is exactly clear. Is that the smartest thing I've ever done in my life? Or what? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but it felt pretty good. Now, the dragonfly is kind of horrible because everything on our squad is a level 2, but I think our odds of surviving long enough to have a good chance to win are low. That's something I'll say for sure. But I think if we manage to, there's almost like, I guess, circular reasoning. If we live long enough to have a chance to win, I think our team does, it's like one of those cars. Like right now, our acceleration might lead to us not making it out of qualifying 1, right? But if we make it to qualifying 3, we got that kind of top end power that, it's like, well, you better stop Donkey Kong on the first lap of Mario Kart, because if he gets up to full speed, then you're not catching him, brother, especially if he's got 10 coins, okay? Does that metaphor make sense, Shigeru? Now, we got 1 dead, 1 on lethal. I'm down here with Turbo GFF. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I clear Turbo GFF right now. I was really hoping I would go up against them. We clear you too, just barely, but now we know Niala goes crazy this week. Chocolate's always important, but you might want to save chocolate for whatever your pivot unit's going to be. I think this is a necessity, even though it's also spicy. We don't have our pivot unit yet. So what am I going to do? I'm going to run a turtle for a round. Not interested. Not interested. Interested. A skunk can be our pivot unit. What I really want to see is I want to see a Niala and a tiger. That's how you can make up for poor scaling with a Niala and a tiger. And if we would sell a dragonfly and probably a turtle, get either a skunk is like our backup plan. We're not going to wait for a roll either. I would be content to just get a skunk out there immediately. Okay, we fought our way back into like the middle of the pack on this one. I'm feeling better than I thought I would. I'm feeling very vindicated right now. As much as I would love a tiger, and we may still go with a tiger at some, well, you might actually go with one right now. But give me this level 2 skunk first. And then I'm going to sell the dragonfly The 1/2/2 buff it's giving a turn is not enough right now, obviously. I'm going to run a tiger helping our skunk out. It does not appear we will be going Niala build this time, which is bearish for us. We kind of wanted to see Niala build. It's the easiest pivot to achieve some level of half decency. That being said, selling our clownfish, because its utility is probably maxed now. It didn't get to level 3. We're not pilling blobfishes for like endless easy levels. Selling our clownfish, and maybe we might have the opportunity with some shop luck to scale a leopard to the point where tiger leopard could make sense. Now, what are the weaknesses on our team right now? We have like none equipment, and don't even get me started on left beef. That being said, could be worse. We're also extremely vulnerable to a skunk, but we can't afford to change that right now. Okay, I'm going to sell the clownfish. This is a great opportunity to scale a unit that also is unlikely to be killed in a single hit. Now, we'd really like this to pop off as soon as possible. Mongooses are just great in general. We can't, as much as I like to, we can't afford to sell anything. And I think skunk is going to be more effective for now. Level 3 monkey is like a maybe. Maybe we can go down that path. It depends how everybody's health is looking. Right now, nobody, the other squads are skunkless, which is a dream come true for me. We're so close to fighting our way back into the top, man. To getting some elo here, even though it started scuffed. Can we beat your team? Depends on the snipes, I think, but I think it's possible. Right now, I think we beat one sock. We just beat Illy Belliot. Great name, by the way. I think we probably lose to Awesome Phil, and I don't think we fought them in a while. So I'm a little bit scared of that. So, you know what? It's as simple. I think it's 50-50 ball right now. But either way, things were mighty dangerous for us for a while on this run until we got that insane double dragonfly, double clownfish, level 2 moth plus garlic pivot. That has allowed us to stabilize in a way beyond my wildest of all dreams, to be honest with you. Okay, they're going crazy mode with the Pteranodon here. We'll take those. I'm glad I got you now, because I feel like if you got that set up, we were in a world of hurt. Okay, we're in the top half now. You scaling is important, but it's way more important that you get... Thinking of a melon for you too, but it's way more important that you get leveled. Okay, maybe not. They didn't give us the chance, okay? They presented a different situation in front of us. If I could please not go down to lethal before you hit level 2, I think we got a snail's chance. It's one sock. Okay, I talked a big game at one sock's expense earlier, but I backed it up. I apologize. Kudos to you for running the starfish. I've tried it this week and it has not been what I need it to be. Now, double melon on very strong units. It's hard to shake the idea that their team is a lot like mine, but their leopard's a little, well, not really further along. We got better scaling because of our monkey. I think, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. It's tight. You could run Death Touch on your leopard by buying a mongoose, which you need something that does more than 20 damage in order to punch through the melon armor. But then we'd be sacking our leopard for their leopard probably, which is not that good of a value. So I think maybe you just have to accept it's tough. We can't really afford to do the Niala pivot now, even though spawns would be nice. My personal opinion, even though it looks like giving up, that is nice. It's not the only thing I want to see, but it is nice. 6 attack doesn't change it. I think you almost need to play for next round and fish for a level on either your tiger or your leopard. I think that's our only way out of this, but we might Well, you know, there's an element, I suppose, of luck involved as well with our sniping. We're on lethal, but listen, you might hate the reasoning here, and I understand why. But there's not a way out of every prison. Some prisons are supermax. And we might be supermaxed right now. We did get the level 2 tiger, which is what we identified as one of our only ways out of the prison was. Let's see. We're going to get 2 extra snipes at 16 damage a pop. They have a huge, like, equipment. Well, they got a decent equipment surplus here. We'll see. If anything could have done it for us, it would have been level 2 leopard or level 2 tiger. So we got one of the two. We can't really complain. Closer, but just a better team. A tip of the cap to you, Awesome Phil 7. I'll take my 5 ranking points happily, and then very narcissistically go check where I am now. Excuse me, 1586. Thank you. Top 5%. We're working on it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. See ya.